In our broadcast today, we honor the life of our colleague and friend Davey Nelson, a 10-year Major League player, an All-Star in '73, from player to big league coach. And then with all that life and personality, from coach to an award-winning broadcaster on Brewers Live. A great Samaritan, a great man. We lost him this past April at age 73, but his legacy will live on here at Miller Park. And hi, everybody. With that, we welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us, Brian Anderson, along with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minard in just a little bit. Well, we're going to play ball today. We're going to enjoy a great day of baseball, the Brewers and the Cardinals, but we're also going to remember and shine a big, fat spotlight on a great man in Davey Nelson.
Yeah, we honor him this weekend, but we think about him a lot. I mean, no truer words have ever been spoken. When they say about Davey Nelson, you talk to Davey about 5 minutes, and you have a friend for life, and no truer words have ever been spoken. Nice ceremony today is going to be honored. Our pre- and post-game set down the right field is going to be now called Nelly's Corner. Certainly deserve it. A nice plaque here at the ballpark. The guys are wearing patches. The open arms home for kids down in South Africa is certainly something that the Brewers are way behind. They're big support of that, and certainly a good weekend here for Davey Nelson and the Brewers.
All right, well, it was a private ceremony earlier today, but let's give you a little taste of those who spoke in front of a packed house earlier today in the terrace level. Enjoy this.
As much as I'm excited and feel good after a game like last night, nothing makes me feel better than to see our community and our family come together like this for one of our own.
The special qualities that you experienced in his adulthood was there in a very nascent but flowering way in his childhood. Having been the youngest of four, David was a very outstanding example for a younger brother.
But this is what today is all about. We're sharing stories, having a laugh, sipping some wine, and remembering a man who never bragged on the fact he played 10 seasons in the majors or was an all-star. Nope. He always asked about you first and wanted to hear your story. What a guy, David Earl Nelson.
Well, he was a man that made your day every day, and he would have loved last night's game. Jesus Aguilar with 2 home runs last night. The Brewers have won the first 2 in this series. We'll relive it after this. is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best, Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Getting ready for game 3 of this 4-game series. What a series it has been. Maybe one of the best games of the year last night. 2-2 to Pham. And that one is in there. A called strike 3. I think Timmons just ran somebody.
I think Tommy Pham's gone.
1-2 the count with 2 away. Hader deals and down he goes. A strikeout for Hader. Flaherty deals and King takes a called strike 3. The no-hitter is intact through 6. In the air to left field, that is back. Ozuna at the wall, and this game is tied. Jesus has done it again. First hit of the game. 1 out in the 7th inning. And there is the bunt. And Hicks going to second base, and a collision at second out. Munoz comes up on Sogard, and he returns the favor, and the bench is clear. Norris has him 0-2, and Aguilar into right field. He's watching. It's flying. It's gone. A home run to win it. Jesus Aguilar walks off the Cardinals tonight. Saturday afternoon, we are ready to play ball at Miller Park. The roof is open. Big crowd filing in here for game 3 of this series between the Brew Crew and the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals batting order today courtesy of Potawatomi. Matt Carpenter, Tommy Pham, Jose Martinez. It's Ozuna, Molina, and Jerko in the middle with Munoz, Bader, and Miles Michaelis rounding out the starting lineup that will face Chase Anderson. His first pitch is down and in. And away we go for game 3 of this series, partner.
Yeah, Chase has lost 3 of his last 4 decisions, including his last time out against the Phillies. 5 1/3, 6 runs. He did allow 2 home runs, making career start number 11 against St. Louis. He's currently 2-2.
Home plate umpire today is Rob Drake. He'll call the balls and strikes. Mike Winters, Mike McClinsky, Tim Timmons are the base umpires. The crew chief is over at first base if we are in need of a review today, Mike Winters. As Carpenter pops this one up, foul territory, long run for Shaw. He's got it, and that's the way the day begins for Chase Anderson.
Man, let's check out the Brewers defensively. You got Eric Thames out in left field again. Still no Ryan Braun. You got Kane and Yelich round out the outfield. Shaw, Perez. You got Miller making his first start as a Brewer. Brad Miller up from the minor leagues. We'll hear a little bit more about Miller as we go on. Aguilar, yesterday's hitting star, and Manny Pena behind home plate.
The Brewers optioned outfielder Domingo Santana to AAA to make room for Brad Miller, who makes his Brewers debut today. Tommy Pham, who was ejected in the first inning in yesterday's game. A swing and a miss. He's quickly down 0-2. What a thriller we had last night. The Brewers and the Cardinals played to a 2-1 final. Brewers won it on a walk-off by Aguilar, and Pham is rung up. 3 pitches. Chase Anderson with a backwards K.
Man, let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. As far as Chase goes, he's got to keep the ball in the ballpark. No long balls today. He's given up 15, including 2 his last time out. You got to keep an eye on left field, center field. Ozuna, Pham have had a lot of success against Chase. 11 for 27 combined, 3 home runs. And Miles Michaelis hasn't had a whole lot of run support. His last 4 starts, only 5 runs while he's been out there.
He's been one of the better pitchers in the National League this year, Miles Michaelis, 7th best ERA in the league. So runs could be at a premium once again today. Anderson with 2 outs facing Jose Martinez, hitting 3rd in this Cardinal batting order. He is a staple now in this lineup. A .304 hitter with 10 homers and 44 driven in. Martinez trying to play through a sore shoulder and a sore wrist on the left side, but he has taken over that everyday role at first base. We've seen him there all 3 games in this series.
You can see Chase Anderson trying to establish inside. He threw a nice pitch on the inside corner to get Pham looking. That was very effective last night for both starters, Junior Guerra and Flaherty. Effective pitching inside.
3 balls, no strikes. Martinez takes ball 4 and a 2-out base runner. Anderson, after a 3-pitch strikeout, issues a 4-pitch walk. The walk-off last night for the Brewers was the 5th of the year. It was the 2nd walk-off for Jesus Aguilar, who hit a walk-off home run against the Marlins earlier this season. And then he got the Cardinals last night. What a story he is turning into. Jesus Aguilar is now in serious consideration for an all-star bid the way he has played and performed at the plate.
He's one of those guys that can carry your offense, which he indeed did yesterday. And nobody really talking about his defense. He's been very solid defensively. Good hands. He really handles the bag around first base extremely well with the footwork. Craig Counsell just has to keep him in the lineup.
In the 2-1 win last night for the Brewers, the lone Cardinal run was driven in by Ozuna. Marcell Ozuna had an RBI hit with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Only 6 hits in the game last night combined. Cardinals scored a run on 3 hits. Brewers 2 runs on 3 hits. Those 2 solo homers by Aguilar. And the Brewers had the only error last night. Now Milwaukee 15 games over 500 once again. Best record in the National League.
And 7 straight pitches out of the strike zone now for Chase.
A 4-pitch walk to Martinez. He's behind 3-0 on Ozuna. He has the green light, or at least the fluorescent yellow light, and he swings and misses.
And pitch out of the strike zone.
Last week it was the National League Player of the Week, Ozuna. And he fouls that one back. It goes to 3-2.
Yeah, good life on the fastball first inning. 95 that last one.
Ozuna fidgety at the plate. He's had good success against Chase Anderson in his career. Has a home run against him. 7 hits and 16 career at-bats. That's a .438 average. Chase trying to come back from 3-0 down. Martinez the runner at first. He takes off, and a swing and a foul out of play.
He doesn't like to stand still, does he, Ozuna?
He is full of energy here for this day game.
All motion.
It's like electric current going through his body right now. It's interesting watching Pena behind the plate wait until he gives the sign to Chase Anderson. Sensing that. There's a fly ball into center field. Kane will settle under it, and he's got it just shy of the wall. Looks like the ball's flying a little bit today. Chase Anderson puts up a 0 in the first. Now the Brew Crew coming up in the bottom of the first inning. The Cardinals failed to score in the first. Eric Thames and the Brewers ready to go here in the bottom of the first. The batting order courtesy of Potawatomi. Craig Counsell has Thames back in there as the leadoff man with Yelich, then Kane. Shaw, Aguilar, Brad Miller make up the middle. Brad Miller making his Brewers debut today. Hernan Perez the shortstop, Manny Pena, and then Chase Anderson rounding out the starting 9. That will match up against Miles Michaelis. And Rock, this guy is 7-2 with a 2.69 ERA, top 10 in wins, top 7 in earned run average.
And he's been racking up the innings pitched, 90 in the third innings, only allowed 79 hits, and making start this year number 15. He had brief time with the Padres and the Texas Rangers, spent the last 3 years in Japan, and has really been pitching well so far this year for St. Louis.
Been a great boost for this Cardinal starting rotation. He pitched very well against Milwaukee earlier this season. Cardinal starters have been excellent this year. Their bullpen has struggled a bit. Mike Maddox, the first-year pitching coach for St. Louis, former Brewer pitching coach back in the Ned Yost days. Maddox went from the Brewers to the Rangers to the Nationals and back into the NL Central to the Cardinals this year. 0-2 to Thames, misses inside.
And Michaelis with a pretty good fastball, curveball to go with it. He'll throw a slider as well. His first 2 starts this year were against Milwaukee. Won one of them. He had a mustache last time we saw him. That's cleanly shaved off now.
Looks a lot younger.
Yeah.
He is 29 years of age. He will turn 30 later this summer in August. Michaelis, a Florida native. He's from Jupiter, Florida. And he kind of found his game in Japan, very similar to what Eric Thames went through in Korea. Both players had stalled at the major league level, or at least trying to get to the major league level, and then both found something and have returned to the big leagues and had a lot of success. As Thames dumps one into left field, a base hit. Ozuna playing very deep, did not get a very good jump, and that's a little flare single to get us started here in the bottom of the first by Eric Thames.
Well, let's check out the Cardinals defensively. They have not been very good defensively, although last night they played airless baseball. Ozuna, Pham, and Bader in the outfield. You got Matt Carpenter, you got Munoz, Jerko up the middle. Martinez at first, and Yadier Molina 3 consecutive games. He gets the day game after night game here today.
Cardinals have committed 61 errors this year. That is the most in the National League. Christian Yelich with Thames at first takes strike 1. Yelich back in the 2 spot in the batting order. .291 average coming into play here today. Has 9 home runs, 31 driven in. Putting together a terrific campaign in his first year in Milwaukee. And I'm sure he and Marcell Ozuna have been able to chat a little bit. They were teammates with the Marlins last year. All 3 of those very talented outfielders traded away from Miami. Yelich and Ozuna and Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees. All are enjoying good seasons with their new teams. Yelich had a couple of hits against Michaelis earlier this year in the 2 starts. 2 for 6 at the plate against this pitcher. Most of these hitters seeing Michaelis for the first time. Little tapper. Michaelis will go to second base and safe. Thames is in. The Cardinals feel like they got the out. They will certainly look at this one. That was a bang play, high risk throw from Michaelis.
Yeah, it was a long throw too, and Thames runs pretty well. I guess in the first inning, if he had it to do over again, he'd just get the out at first base. Try to get that lead runner, but that's a long throw for a pitcher where he ends up catching this baseball. And it looks like Thames beats it at first.
And Mike Matheny will ask for a review here. He thinks they got him, and so the umpires will put the headsets on. Ball and glove.
Looks like he's out.
Foot not to the bag yet.
Bang bang. Second base umpire Mike Wachlinski calls him out. Looks like he might be, well, I should say he called him safe. It looks like he's going to be out.
Crew chief is Mike Winters. He'll be the one to issue the call from Chelsea, New York, where the Major League Baseball Replay Center is located. There are regular rotation Major League umpires that are serving duty today in the Replay Center. They're watching these replays. There are also supervisors in there. So there's I would imagine a few eyes on this one.
It's just a matter of when contact with the glove is made by the baseball. The baseball disappears in the glove, but is contact made? I think that's what they're looking at in New York. I mean, the first look at it on the review, it looks like he's out, but you don't know. So you see it disappear, but when does it hit the glove? Does it hit the glove there or there?
Well, here comes the result, and out is the call. So Thames is out, and the call is overturned.
There's no way you can see that with the naked eye. I mean, regular speed, that's very difficult, but you know, these reviews, and anytime you get a close call, you're going to look at it.
A minute and 22 was the time of the delay during the review. So it's the first out for Michaelis, and here is Lorenzo Cain with a runner at first. Kane's been beat up a little bit in this series. He left Thursday night's game with cramping in the hamstring. Brewers had a big lead at the time, and then he was drilled with a big fastball yesterday by Jordan Hicks right on the elbow. And yet here he is, back in the starting lineup, back in the 3-hole with Ryan Braun out once again. Braun is available for Craig Counsell to use off the bench, but Ryan had an injection, a cryotherapy injection in his thumb. He has some nerve damage in that thumb, and it's a periodic injection that he gets. I believe Sophia reported that was the 5th such injection that he has had over the last couple of years. And so every day they can give Ryan Braun off, they will take advantage, as Kane is hit again. Well, I tell you, the Brewers are starting to wonder if all these inside pitches have a little purpose behind them with Lorenzo Cain, because they have been pouring them in on Cain, and for the second time he is hit by a pitch.
And Flaherty, Jack Flaherty yesterday, it looked like he had some words with Cain, or at Cain, throughout the game. It was a fastball that gets him right on the back. I guess, you know, you want to pitch these guys in. I mean, everybody's been pitching in, in this series. You can see the reaction of Yadier Molina, a little upset, but that doesn't mean much.
Cain is upset. 2 on with 1 out, and here is Travis Shaw.
You know, when you think about Braun, and not in the lineup, I mean, you want to give him as much time as he can, but who do you take out?
Right.
I mean, everybody's swinging the bat. You're not going to take Aguilar out. Thames is swinging the bat well. Cain, Yelich. So why these guys are swinging the bats well, I think you leave them out there.
Sure. Buys a little extra time for Braun to heal up. That's the beauty of the structure of this roster this year. The Brewers have weapons up and down. They have opportunities to play different guys in different positions, and right now the way Aguilar is playing at first, it has made Eric Thames an outfielder now. He is not a first baseman at this point. Certainly could go back there, but Aguilar has locked down that job. A good problem to have.
Yeah, that and the fact that the Brewers aren't going to be facing a left-hander anytime soon. So yeah, I mean, you get a lefty out there, you give Thames a day off, maybe give Yelich a day off, and Braun's out there. But yeah, right now, I mean, you got to stick with the guys that have been swinging the bats.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Travis Shaw. 14 homers this year, 47 driven in. He has led the club in both of those categories most of the year until this recent burst by Aguilar. .323 hitter with runners in scoring position. Excellent numbers when it counts for Travis Shaw. The home run leader for the club on deck, and Aguilar. 2 on, 1 away, and Shaw lines one foul. Nice catch. Little backhanded stab. Act like he's done it before too. I love it.
Yeah, no kidding. Look, there's some style points right there.
Beautiful.
Well done. Little bobble, but he held on.
It's complete in all facets. Made the catch. Gave the ball to the kid. Cool points rising. The 1-2 to Shaw is down and away. Travis with 43 RBIs against right-handed pitching. 43 of his 47. That is the most in the National League. Aguilar's right there, 3rd in the NL. A right-handed hitter, Aguilar. And a slow breaking ball misses, and now the count goes full.
And that's a pitch that's really important for Michael, is that curveball, and he hadn't been able to throw it for strikes yet. So if you're Travis Shaw, you're just sitting dead red looking fastball.
In the 2 starts prior to this one, Shaw has 4 hits off Michaelis. 4 out of 6 at the plate. And he's jammed. He's able to foul it back. Keeps the at bat going here. 97 with a fastball that time from Michaelis. High pitch count first inning for the Cardinal starter.
Trying to show him everything. Curveballs, sliders, fastballs.
Pitch number 9 of the at bat, and Shaw takes it down and in. What a battle that was. Bases loaded for the Brewers in this first inning, and here comes Aguilar, and listen to the hand he's getting. Well, that's got to make him feel on top of the world. He gets a standing ovation after his 2-homer game yesterday, including the walk-off.
Yeah, no kidding. A story of perseverance, and look where he is now.
Was absolutely buried in the Cleveland Indians organization. He was hitting, though. He was putting up big numbers in AAA. Just couldn't get a breakthrough, and he lines out into right center field. On the run is Bader. He's got it for the out. Coming in to score is Yelich. Kane over to third base. Aguilar drives in another one. And he puts the Brewers on the board 1-0 with a sacrifice fly.
And just missed hitting it out. He got it down on the handle just a little bit. But it hit it hard. There's that cut fastball. You see where he makes contact. Didn't barrel it up. Didn't get it on the sweet spot, but still deep enough. And to get the Brewers on top.
And everybody in that dugout thinking the same thing. Is this real, what this guy's doing? The first to 50 RBIs on the ball club. Jesus Aguilar. 2 outs in the inning now. Here is Brad Miller. And his Brewer debut. A little flare. That's going to fall. Kane is in to score. It is 2-0. And welcome to Milwaukee, Brad Miller.
It's amazing how when these guys come up from the minor leagues, how quickly they contribute. Seems like every one of them. I remember Eric Kratz when he first got called up, driving in runs, hitting homers, and now a little jam shot off the bat of Brad Miller. It dumps it into the outfield, just out of the reach of Munoz, and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead. There's nothing like first impressions, right? Get the first one out of the way. Well done.
Only fitting that a guy with that last name wears the home whites of the Milwaukee Brewers at Miller Park. He's had some big seasons in the past with the Rays. He swung so early in the count we didn't even get a chance to talk much about Brad Miller, but Brewers acquiring him. He was going to be taken off that major league roster with the Tampa Bay Rays. And the Brewers, sensing an opportunity, able to get him signed. Miller went to AAA to get some at bats and play shortstop. He had come up with the Seattle Mariners and then had his big year, a 30 home run season with the Tampa Bay Rays in 2016. 2 on, 2 out, and the 0-2 to Perez is fouled away. So who is Brad Miller? Acquired on June 10th from the Rays. Brewers have made a couple of deals with Tampa Bay, including Dan Jennings. Played in 8 games down in AAA with the Sky Sox. Did have a homer. And the numbers there, you see the 73 career major league home runs, 30 of those coming in 2016. Utility man. Perez swings and misses, and the inning is over. But a great start today. The Brewers get 2 on the board. Aguilar, the first to 50 RBIs. And Brad Miller in his Brewers debut. An RBI single. Looks like a line drive in the books, Brad. 2-0 Milwaukee. We go to the second.
An early 2-0 lead over the Cardinals as we head to the second. Brad Miller was called up from AAA Colorado Springs, contributed that RBI single. He's taking the roster spot of outfielder Domingo Santana, option to AAA. And for Santana, Craig Counsell said, obviously he was a big part of the team's success last year with 30 home runs, 85 RBIs, but a step back for him today in terms of the playing time and the production. So sent down, it was just a 249 average for him. But Counsell saying, you know, there is going to be a point in this season where they will need Santana back, and they need him to get going. They said, just looking at his role moving forward, there wasn't going to be a lot of playing time for him there. So they thought that he could benefit from getting that regular playing time and just putting him in a better position to succeed when that time comes, when they do need him to come back.
And just to iron out some of the issues that he had, he was swinging and missing quite a bit. He wasn't able to elevate the baseball like he did a year ago. A lot of ground ball outs, and I think you're right. I mean, that he's going to play a part. At some point, there's going to be injuries that Santana is going to be called upon. Just give him some at-bats, get him some confidence swinging a bat again, because he wasn't really getting enough playing time to be able to do that here.
Chase Anderson facing Molina to start this second inning. That's driven into right center field, and Yadier Molina has hit one out. Opposite field smash by the Cardinal catcher, Yadier Molina. And it's 2-1.
Well, home runs have certainly been an issue for Chase this year. Gave up a couple his last time out against Philly. That's the 16th he's allowed this year. And Yadier Molina does what he does best, and that's take one to the opposite field. Fastball up, out over the plate on a 3-1 pitch. And Chase has been falling behind so far today.
That is the 14th home run for the Cardinals here at Miller Park this season. This is the 9th game. Anderson giving up 16 homers this year. Luis Castillo of the Reds has given up the most. Anderson in there with a few others, including Zach Greinke. There's a wave and a miss by Jerko. It's quickly 0-2.
3-1 fastball up, out over the plate. That's just bread and butter for Yadier Molina.
Now the Cardinals can hit the long ball. Molina is the 5th double-digit home run Cardinal in their starting lineup today. Matt Carpenter leads St. Louis with 13 homers.
Yeah, they've now hit 95. They just jumped ahead of the Rockies for the league lead.
Two and two the count on Jed Jerko after the Molina home run to start the second. Jerko back at second base again today. Mike Matheny still trying to find the right combination around his 4 infield spots. It is a mix and match group of players. There's a curveball in there for a strike. And a backwards K for Chase Anderson, his 2nd strikeout of the game.
Yeah, good curveball right on the outside corner. He busted him inside. Yeah, the pitch before, and then got him with the curveball away. That's a good pitch.
First out of the second inning. Anderson will face Jairo Munoz. Munoz and Eric Sogard part of a intense moment last night. Eric Sogard said after the game that after the collision at second base, all he said was, "Are you all right?" And Munoz kind of snapped up, came up on him a little bit. So then Sogard got in a position to defend himself. Nothing ever happened. The bench is cleared. The bullpen's cleared. The broadcast booth's cleared. As Munoz lines one into left center for a base hit. We were all out there.
We were in the hallways pushing and
yeah,
shoving.
we were. I had Dan McLaughlin locked down. He and John Rooney. But this is how it all started here. It was a bunt by Perez, and then a throw that was a little bit up the line forced Munoz right into the running space of Sogard. And
yeah, just crazy. I mean, it looked like Munoz ran into Sogard more than Sogard ran into him. And Maybe it's a language barrier thing. Maybe Munoz not understanding what Sogard was saying, but it's certainly uncalled for. I like the intensity, though. I mean, you kind of miss that in the game these days. You don't see a lot of it, but a lot of, you know, patting each other on the back on the bases, and you don't mind that so much. A little intensity, get mad at each other. It's good.
Yeah, great rivals here, the Brewers and the Cardinals in the National League Central. You face a team 18, 19 times during a regular season when they're in your division. That's going to happen. Just part of the entertainment last night. A very entertaining baseball game last night here at Miller Park. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bader. He lays off, takes ball 2.
It's hard to rank the good games that we've seen this year. I mean, which one is the best game? I think the one, you know, last night and the other game when the Brewers went on back-to-back homers to win the game, that might be 1 and 2 this year, but there have been a ton of really good games this year. Good comfort behind victories. Last at bat heroics, and it's been one of those years.
Yeah, the Brewers are 23-14 here at Miller Park. 9 games over, and in 37 home games they have 5 walk-offs. Two balls and a strike. Young talented outfielder Harrison Bader, who gets the start in right here this evening or this afternoon. He's a kid with a lot of power, great speed. Cardinals are still searching for answers with Dexter Fowler. He sits today, and Bader is in there.
Yeah, he's just been not been able to get going at all. Dexter Fowler 0 for his last 13, which is why he's sitting, and he's hitting under $160.
So Bader gets the chance to play. Fowler in the second year of a 5-year contract, by the way. Cardinals know they need to get him right, but right now the Cardinals are taking on water. 2 games over 500. They're 38-36. They are 6.5 back of the Brewers starting play today.
And it's a big contract, Dexter Fowler, to get nothing out of him.
2-2 the count. Anderson trying to keep Munoz close. Chase, a native Texan from the Dallas area, 30 years of age. Signed a multi-year contract extension with the Brewers. He's got options through 2021. Runner goes. Pena couldn't get a handle on the pitch. The pitch is called a strike, so it is a strikeout. But Pena couldn't quite get a grip. And so a stolen base for Munoz, but there are 2 outs in the inning.
He's had a good curveball so far today. Talking about Chase Anderson, yeah. I'm not sure it would have mattered. Munoz had a pretty good jump then, and he picked a curveball to run on. You see the way he threw the ball out of his glove and tried to catch it bare hand as opposed to reaching in. Sometimes you don't get a good grip on it.
The pitcher, Michaelis, at the plate.
Michaelis hit a home run at Miller Park early this year.
Yeah, that was his first career major league hit, his only home run. That came on April 2nd. We're thinking at that time, man, this guy's going to be a pretty good hitter, but that's his only hit of the year right now. That home run in his first start at Miller Park.
Well, they say everybody has a chance to run into one once in a while.
He did run into one. He hit a long way. A wave and a miss, and it's 1-2. Yeah, Michaelis is 1 for 26 at the plate. He does have a couple of RBIs. Of those 26 at-bats, he has 16 strikeouts. Anderson would love to add one more to that one with a runner at second. 2-1, Brewers lead it. And the curveball is grounded to third. Shaw goes across the diamond, and that will retire the side. Yadier Molina goes deep to start the inning. Only the 1 run scores. It's 2-1 Brewers. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. There have been some thrilling moments here at Miller Park already this year. We had another one last night with the Aguilar walk-off, the 5th walk-off of the year at Miller Park. Finishing games with a bang. Ryan Braun homered against the Cardinals on April 3rd. And then against the Cubs, remember the Arcia base hit to win it. That was April 6th. Manny Pena scoring the winning run. And the first of the 2 walk-off home runs by Jesus Aguilar. Travis Shaw had the walk-off walk. And then last night, maybe the best one of them all. One of the 2 home runs Aguilar hits, and the Brewers, who were being no-hit through 7 innings, come up with a victory as Pena on the first pitch dumps one into right field, a base hit. They got to look out. Back is Pena in time. Molina was right behind him, wasn't he?
Old school. And you're always taught, you know, as a kid, you know, back up, you trail that play, the first baseman vacates, the runner thinks that there's nobody there. And kind of a sneak attack. The right fielder throws to first base. Look at Molina. That's where the first base coach comes in handy, right there.
First baseman's got to do a better job of clearing out. I used to do that all the time in college.
Yeah.
That was my jam, that follow the runner.
You know, you do it 100 times, and if it works once, it's worth it.
It's good exercise too. I always felt running with those shin guards down the line.
Yeah.
So Anderson a chance to bunt, fouls it back.
That's one of the many things that the first base coach does.
That's right. Yeah, we're thinking about that first base coaching box more today than we normally do, because our broadcast dedicated to our late friend and colleague Davey Nelson, who was the first base coach here for the Brewers before he turned into an award-winning television announcer. All series long, honoring the life of Davey Nelson. There's a bunt. Michaelis goes to second base, and again the Brewers are put out at second base, this time on a bunt by Anderson. It's been quite a day already. There was a ceremony before the game, and it was packed. It was a private ceremony unveiling the new Nelly's Corner, which will be known forever now here at Miller Park. That's the area where Brewers Live exists. And so Nelly's Corner is down there. You see the logo of the Open Arms Foundation, an orphanage in South Africa that is one of the many legacies that Davey Nelson will leave with us.
Yep, and the Brewers will continue to support.
That's the patch the Brewers are wearing with the Open Arms logo. And just a special day all the way around as we enjoy some Major League Baseball and think about our friend Davey Nelson. And terrific job by our colleague Craig Kashawn. He emceed the event. He was outstanding today. Just had the perfect words and set the perfect tone.
And it had to be tough on Craig too, because he and Davey were really close, and not too many people realize how much, you know, Craig did for Davey while he was battling through his illnesses. And you know, he and his wife Pam, they did a heck of a lot to help Davey, and it had to be tough for Craig, but he pushed through, did a nice job.
Mark Atanasio spoke. Davey Nelson's brother, Father Dominic, had some words as well, and we certainly want to acknowledge Tyler Barnes and his wife Monica and all the work they've done as well. Great stuff from them with Davey as Thames bounces into a double play to end the inning. So we're thinking about Davey today. We think about him every day, but especially today. His golf tournament is Monday. Nelly's Corner is alive and well out there in right field.
Park the crew with a 2-1 lead here in the third, and you can join the Community Foundation and the Leadership Council for our effort to make a difference in the community. If you are at Miller Park for the Cardinals game tomorrow afternoon, you can bring a jar of peanut butter and support the Drive for Charity. And you can bring the peanut butter and or a $5 contribution that will be donated to an organization that is meeting basic needs. And fans will receive a one-of-a-kind, custom-designed Drive for Charity pin. So appreciate the support of all of those attending the game tomorrow. Also checking out today's UW Whitewater minor league scouting report. Outfielder Corey Ray in AA last night. 2 hits for him, a double and a triple, and in his 70 games this season with Biloxi, it's a .252 average for him, 20 doubles, 5 triples, 9 home.
The microphone finally won, Sophia.
Gremlins.
Minute out. But Corey Ray is having quite the season this year. She'll be back. She'll be back better than ever.
That's good. Minute out. She'll be back. You're right.
We'll get that worked out.
Got a lot left.
That happens live television. There's a lot of interference in the old ballpark today. You know that sound that you heard with Sophia right there? So that's how I grew up listening to baseball on the radio. Like scratching on the dial. You actually wasn't digital then. You actually had to turn a dial that moved across.
You're telling me that?
Oh, no, I was just kind of looking at you while I'm telling our television audience.
Yeah, the old transistor radio.
Yeah,
you know, about the size of, you know.
You just try to find that right spot. Maybe you go stand in a corner.
Move it around. Yep.
I listened to my brother's major league debut just like that. In and out, listening to KMOX in St. Louis. Matt Carpenter skies this one. That's a long run for Perez, and he overran it. Once he got into the area in foul territory, the sun shining brightly, and he couldn't put it away.
Yeah, need to slow down a little bit, but that's a tough play. Hit a long way to go, and you know, looking back over his shoulder into the sun, you know, through the glass panels and left. I should say, yeah, in right field, just overruns it.
No error for Perez. Yeah, in a normal setup defensively, that's a routine play for a third baseman or maybe a shortstop. But with a shift on, that's a tough one. Instead, Anderson comes back with a strikeout of Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, Cardinals don't like being called out on strikes. And especially on those fastballs inside. Again, it's very effective for both pitchers in last night's game, and not sure what Carpenter's squawking about. That had plenty of the plate.
How about 4 strikeouts for Chase Anderson? All of them are backwards Ks. All of them the called strike 3 variety. Brings up Tommy Pham.
Fastball, that inside fastball, so effective. It really opens up the rest of your game. The change-up, the curveball cutter combination.
One and 2 to Pham.
Next thing you're going to tell me, you remember the days when you had the rabbit ears on the TV, and you were, you know, the kid, you know, your dad was sitting there and said, "Go get him and move him around the yard, you know, the room."
Remember those days when your kids were the remote controls? Pham pops one foul out of play.
Yeah, my father always had a garage door opener.
And his name was Alfred William Schroeder.
Or Edward.
Or Edward. Let's be honest, though. Ed didn't have to do much.
Yeah.
You took on a lot of that burden, didn't you?
I offered.
A lot of trauma.
Big brother.
Yes, sir. Glory days. Did you ever have a pair of vice grips on the television? When the little plastic changer would break off the TV, you had to put the vice grips on it.
Yeah, we couldn't afford vice grips. We had pliers.
We just used our fingers.
Dad was a school teacher back in the day.
And then ultimately a principal, right?
Yeah, right.
Principal Pete.
High school.
3-2 to Tommy Pham. That's a called strike 3, and Anderson rings the bell again.
But that's 3 straight times Pham has been at the plate, including last night where he's been called out on a fastball inside. and doesn't dare turn around and argue this time.
5 Ks, 5 called strike threes. Second time Pham has been struck out looking. Same exact pitch in both at bats. 2 gone for Jose Martinez. Brewers lead this game 2-1, scoring twice in the bottom of the first. Jesus Aguilar had a sac fly and an RBI, his 50th RBI of the year. And then the newcomer Brad Miller with an RBI single. Yadier Molina homered to start the second. So the Cardinals with a run on 2 hits. Brewers 2 runs on 3 hits. And Aguilar right back at it in his first trip to the plate. After driving in 2 last night and had 2 the game before that. 2-0 to Martinez. That one's in there. That's the first strike Martinez has seen today.
And not exactly where he wanted that cutter. Ended up on the inside corner. Pena setting up outside.
Anderson walked Martinez on 4 pitches in the first inning. Two. That was better location of the cut fastball. That's where he wants it.
Down and away. Those cutters that stay middle in the middle, down the middle of the plate, or end up in the seats most of the time.
Anderson shaking a few times. Now we'll start over with Pena. Coming with a changeup. 2-2 pitch. Just missed. 3-2. That's a good spot for a changeup right there, though.
Yeah, had him fooled. He hadn't thrown too many, and if you throw that for a strike, you get him. Fastball up. And he gets Manny.
Pena with that old school mask as opposed to the hockey style mask, which you don't see a whole lot of anymore.
Not as much protection, I don't think, as far as impact.
Yadier Molina wears one. Yeah, Martinez walks again. Second time that Martinez has walked. Those are the only 2 walks allowed by Chase.
And missed with a changeup again. Hey, the Brewers and Royals will face off in a 2-game interleague showdown here at Miller Park this Tuesday and Wednesday. Check out the complete series schedule that includes half-price tickets for kids and seniors on Wednesday at Brewers.com.
2-game series with the Royals makes it a 6-game 7-day homestand. 4 with the Cardinals, 2 with Kansas City. The trip through Missouri here at Miller Park.
And Monday, the last off day before the All-Star break for the Brewers.
Yeah, then it is a very busy stretch for the Brewers. That's going to be a key window of games for Milwaukee. They thrived leading up to the All-Star break last year, remember. Had to go make up a game at Wrigley Field and then went to New York to finish up the first half. But once you get to Tuesday, it's 21 games in 20 days after that because of a doubleheader Saturday, July 14th in Pittsburgh to make up for that rainout on Wednesday. So 21 games in 20 days leading up to the All-Star break. Big swing by Ozuna. He was way out in front of the change. Ozuna flew out to center field in the first. Hit it fairly deep. Missed it on the bat. Ozuna has been an all-star 2 years, the last 2 years with the Marlins. A dangerous bat at the plate. Last week, en route to a Player of the Week award in the National League, he homered in 3 consecutive games.
Man, careful here on a 3-1 pitch.
Martinez, the runner at first. He's there with 2 outs. And Ozuna draws the walk. So suddenly the Cardinals put 2 men on with 2 outs in the inning. 2 Ks to start, then 2 walks. Eric Johnson on his way out, the Brewer pitching coach.
Yeah, just can't figure out the changeup as of yet. And that's such a big important pitch for him. He usually has that one in his hip pocket, but you know, the curveball has been more consistent for Chase so far today than the changeup, which is unusual. Such a good combination when he has good command of the fastball on the inside corner. That speeds up the bat, and that in itself is going to make the changeup very effective, but he can't throw it for strikes.
Chase has 5 strikeouts, 3 walks now. He's given up just the 2 hits, but one of those was a home run by Yadier Molina, who steps in now. That home run in the second gives Molina 814 career RBIs. That number is significant in Cardinal history because Molina now ties Lou Brock for 9th all-time as a Cardinal for RBIs in a career. The Hall of Famer Lou Brock. He starts him with a hook, and he gets it in there for a strike.
Get him thinking curveball, then bust him inside.
Cardinals threatening with 2 away. Molina can be dangerous in spots like this. He can be a very good contact hitter. And we saw him pull the ball often yesterday, but these are the kind of moments when Molina will try to drive the ball to the opposite field.
And fastballs away, and he will pull curveballs and off-speed pitches up in the strike zone.
His home run was to right center. He hit a bomb up there in the Toyota territory. 2 on 2 out. The 1-1 is swung on and missed. He chased one upstairs.
There's a good pitch to Molina, up and in. You know, a guy that likes to shoot the ball in the right field. That's a good pitch.
See the fastball spin like that, the revolutions it spins. They can measure that now, and that's one of the reasons that Anderson started to use that high fastball a couple of years ago. 1-2, goes back to the breaking ball. He missed with it. And it's one thing to be able to throw 92, 93 miles an hour, and if you have low spin, you can still throw it with velocity, but lower spin, the ball's still going to drop because of gravity into the hitting zone.
You're not going to get any finish.
They realized that Anderson's rides, so they started to utilize that top half. That one's right down the middle, and Molina comes up empty. Chase Anderson strikes out all 3 batters in the 3rd for the outs, around 2 walks. Strikeouts and walks, the brand new game of baseball. continues tomorrow. It's a full slate of matches, and it all starts as Harry Kane and England taking on Panama. 6 a.m. Central is start time on FS1. The FIFA World Cup tomorrow on FS1 and Fox. You can stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
Somebody got beat bad this morning. Who was it?
I wish you wouldn't ask me that.
I
Rob.
had it on. Woke up, turned it on. Somebody had a 4-1 lead. That's like what, 15-0 in baseball?
That's a blowout. That's nice you're tapping in though to the Fox Sports app. Belgium beat Tunisia 5-2 was the final in that one.
That was it.
Yeah, Belgium.
That was the one.
That's the team you're trying to, not the Waffles. Did you have Belgium in your fantasy FIFA selection?
I did not.
Yelich bounces over to Carpenter. Out number 1.
Had a Belgian waffle today.
Day game today, day game tomorrow. It's a 1 o'clock start tomorrow, and then a day off Monday. Davey Nelson's golf tournament is Monday to raise funds for Open Arms, an orphanage in South Africa. And part of the ceremony today, the Brewers owner, Mark Atanasio, who's here at the ballpark this afternoon with his wife, Debbie. Mark and Debbie announced that whatever the Brewers and those that are at the golf tournament raise on Monday, they will match it, the Atanasios.
That's great.
It's going to be a big number as well. It is usually a big number, and they're going to double the effort. So phenomenal. What a legacy.
Yeah, and the Brewers are going to make sure that the Open Arms home is going to be vibrant. It's going to continue. It's going to be well funded. Good for them.
The Brewers are certainly absorbing some of the work that Davey Nelson did in his passing. Lorenzo Cain up there in a 1-2 count. I mentioned Tyler Barnes and his wife Monica and their 2 boys, and the role they played in helping Davey through once the diagnosis came down, the cancer diagnosis. Also Katina Shaw, she had a great impact over this last year, and of course Craig Kashawn and his family. That's a little flare, and Pham is going to run it down. Bader laid out for it at the feet of Tommy Pham, but the speedy Pham able to make that play for out number 2. After the ball game today, a reminder that right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin, it is a special night. It is a special edition of Spotlight tonight after Brewers Live postgame, as we remember Davey Nelson, a life that was built around baseball, but certainly a legacy that extends far beyond the diamond. 6:30 tonight on Fox Sports Wisconsin. That is the new plaque that was just unveiled and placed today down the right field line. All the patrons at Miller Park will be able to go read the story of Davey Nelson. I love the picture on the right the most.
Yeah.
That belly laugh of Davey Nelson, man, that was him to a T.
Yeah, Craig had a way of getting him to laugh during that pre and post game show. There it is.
It's great.
That's Coach right there.
Yeah. All-star player in 1973, turned coach, turned award-winning broadcaster, and passed away this past April. So we're spending a lot of time thinking about and remembering Davey Nelson today. If you're new to our broadcast, this entire series against the Cardinals is, and this entire homestand, dedicated to Davey Nelson. I was asked a few times why this weekend, why today. And the reason for that is the golf tournament was already on the books, already scheduled. Plans were made for Monday, so it just made sense to put it all together in one weekend. And a lot of friends, family, all here. And Rock, I thought you said it beautifully earlier today on when we did our on cameras, but if you talk to him for 5 minutes, you had a friend for life, and that's really what it was. And it felt like a room full of best friends today for Davey Nelson, because everybody thought he was their best friend.
So genuine, such a genuine, nice man.
Shaw chops one to Martinez. He'll flip to Michaelis for the out. And the Brewers go in order in the 3rd inning. 3 in the books at Miller Park on a beautiful Saturday, and it's 2-1 Milwaukee.
Showing appreciation for all military by sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
2-1, the Brewers lead the Cardinals as we head to the top of the 4th inning from Miller Park, Milwaukee. And Chase Anderson back to work. He'll face Jed Jerko to start the inning. One of the 5 strikeout victims for Chase Anderson. All 5 Ks have been the called strike 3 variety. And Anderson with a spinner in there for strike 1. He's had a good curveball going today. Maybe the changeup is the one that he would like to dial in. A good fastball, good curveball as Jerko bounces to Miller. Miller's first chance. And there is out number 1.
Yeah, he does need that changeup. I mean, it's always been a good pitch for him. As the game goes on, maybe he'll find it and throw that one instead of the curveball. Guys like to mix it up as they get through the lineup.
Only run on the board was the Yadier Molina homer to start the 2nd. Anderson struck out Molina to end the 3rd inning. And 6 strikeouts in the game for Chase. I beg your pardon.
Yeah, blew a fastball right by him.
Jairo Munoz, who singled and stole a base in the 2nd inning. As the other Cardinal hit, he and Molina with the 2 hits, both coming in the 2nd. High pitch count for Anderson working in the 4th inning. He's down at the bottom of the Cardinal order. He'd like to make it a quick inning here. Two balls, no strikes. And that misses. 3-0.
He's already walked 3 in the game. Giving up only 2 hits. That's why you see the high pitch count.
Had the back-to-back walks last inning prior to the Molina K. Well, that is in there for a strike. 3-1. Anderson's fastball has been 92 to 95 today. That's good velocity. Like to see Anderson pitching with that velocity. We've been watching velocity closely with Chase this year. It's been fluctuating a little bit. Opening day starter this season. Chase Anderson, his first opening day honor. Pitched one of his better games of the year on opening day, as a matter of fact. Gave up just one hit. 6 shutout innings against the Padres.
Brewers won that game in extra innings. Yeah, Chase had a really good month of April.
Finished the first month of the season with a 2.86 ERA. That does include that opening day start, which was in March, technically, March 29th. His best game of the year against the Chicago Cubs on June 12th, right here at Miller Park. 7 innings, 1 hit, no runs. He struck out 6. Brewers had a shutout win that day against the Cubs.
Had a rough month of May. Earned run average over 7. And was starting to get it together again. Roughed up a little bit against the Phillies his last time out.
Coming off a start, giving up 6 runs in 5 1/3. 3-2 is on the ground, fair, bobbled. Time to recover, and Shaw's throw is just in time to get Munoz.
Didn't panic.
The gift of a strong throwing arm.
And very accurate ordinarily. He dropped it right at his feet, which was why he's able to get the out. Barehands it, and a good throw over to Aguilar.
The son of a former big league closer, Travis Shaw. His dad Jeff had a strong arm, and Travis was a pitcher most of his amateur career. He pitched, played shortstop. Thought he might even continue on as a pitcher at some point at a higher level, maybe a professional level or college, but he wanted to hit, and he made the right choice. Harrison Bader struck out looking in the 2nd inning. One ball, 1 strike. You find Bader's name among a number of the rookie categories in the National League. He's top 10 in batting, 10th in on base percentage. He's 9th in slugging. A swing and a miss. He has a violent hack.
Yeah, and he's got 5 home runs, but only 9 RBIs. So a lot of his run production has come via the home run. 4-seamer. Good spin rate on that one, partner. Up in his zone.
See what he does here. Back up there, and Bader bites, fouls it away.
When you talk about spin rate, you're actually talking about, you know, when you have good backspin, and that's all about the wrist snap. You talk about it with pitchers and catchers, infielders, you know, even outfielders, and that's how you get the good finish on your pitch or your throw. It doesn't die as it gets to the target. It just keeps rising. It just keeps going. That's what spin rate's all about.
3-2 pitch. Bader takes a called strike 3. Anderson with another backwards K. He has 7 strikeouts, 6 of them looking. And he's got the Cardinals in fits here today. 4 innings for Anderson, just 1 run. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places. What a day for baseball. Beautiful Saturday in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great to have you with us at Miller Park. 2-1 is our score. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Brewers have won the first 2 in this series. They've won 3 in a row after they lost 3 straight games. Had a terrific win in Pittsburgh on Tuesday night. And have opened up this homestand with back-to-back wins. None more impressive than the one last night, thanks in large part to that guy.
Yeah, that guy and some really terrific pitching.
Yeah, that's a great point. Aguilar was there for the heroics for sure, but the Brewers don't get in that position without stellar work from the mound.
Yeah.
Starting with Guerra and then Josh Hader over to Jacob Barnes, Jeremy Jeffress, Corey Knebel, all were lights out yesterday.
Yeah, you win a 2-1 game. There's a lot of good pitching going on too. Doesn't get the headlines, but it's equally as important.
15 strikeouts yesterday for Brewer pitching against the Cardinals. Guerra had 7 of them in his 5 innings. And then Hader, who was used with the Brewers down 1-0. Normally Hader pitches in tie games or when the Brewers are ahead, but Hader was brought in, Counsell sensing a moment in the 6th inning, and Hader with 2 on and nobody out struck out the next 3 hitters.
Yeah.
Michaelis deals a 1-2, misses outside. Brewer relievers yesterday retired the last 12 Cardinal batters in order. 12 up, 12 down, setting the stage for Aguilar's performance. And a swing and a miss, a slow breaking ball. Had Jesus out in front.
Good curveball, 77 miles an hour from Michaelis. Early in the game, he didn't have this pitch working for him, the spike curveball. Now it's working much better. Molina going to it a little bit more, and he gets the strikeout.
Miles Michaelis pitching in his 4th inning, giving up 2 runs in the first. Aguilar had a sac fly, and Brad Miller drove in a run in his first at bat, first pitch he saw in the big leagues with the Brewers. Slapped one into left center. So the Brewers give up a little outfield depth in Santana, drop him to AAA to add another utility man to the mix who can play short. It's not his best position. Miller played mostly first base with the Rays this year, but he's played second, third. He can play the outfield.
Tampa Bay connection, right? Van Jennings. There's that curveball again.
And back-to-back strikeouts on it. 3 Ks now for Michaelis. 2 outs in the 4th inning.
I would imagine the Brewers are going to be seeing a lot more of this curveball. Yadier Molina able to block it, ball in the dirt. Might be the Matt Arnold connection, the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, Arnold is the Brewers' assistant general manager, the right-hand man of David Stearns. Arnold came to the Brewers from the Rays, working with Andrew Friedman there in Tampa Bay. Good relationship. A lot of relationships out there with general managers. We're getting into trading period soon. Trade deadline is the end of July. Bouncing ball to first. Martinez will go to the bag, and Michaelis has another quick 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 7 in a row. We head to the 5th.
2018 MLB All-Star Game, so head to Brewers.com/vote and cast your ballot filled with Brewers to ensure the crew is well represented at the Midsummer Classic this July in Washington, D.C.
A lot of worthy candidates, including Jesus Aguilar, who has certainly put his name in that conversation. Lorenzo Cain will exit this game once again. Ryan Braun enters in left field. That moves Yelich to center. So for the second time in the series, Cain leaves the game. Braun getting his first playing time since coming back.
Not a bad replacement.
Eric Thames over to right field. Shift up that outfield a little bit.
Nice to have that kind of depth on your bench, huh?
Telling you what. Embarrassment of riches among outfielders with pedigree. I'm sure it is precautionary with Cain. He does, if it was serious, he wouldn't be in the dugout.
He got hit again today.
Got hit right in the back. Set some hamstring cramping as well as Anderson strikes out Michaelis. Chase is starting to move towards a career number right now. That is his 8th strikeout. His career high is 11, which he set last year in May. Lorenzo Cain may be one of the reasons he is out of this game. The last 2 days took this fastball from Flaherty on the elbow, and then earlier today, Michaelis, who throws hard, stuck one right in his back and the shoulder.
And we don't see Lorenzo get pitched in that far, or so far this year that much, but the Cardinals have a different idea as how to approach Cain, apparently. Work him inside, and if you're going to miss in off the plate.
Matt Carpenter back at the top of the St. Louis batting order. Third time through the order as well. Carpenter's 0 for 2. Anderson struck him out back in the 3rd inning.
Yep, and a fastball in the inside corner.
8 strikeouts, a season high for Chase. Does have a high pitch count as we play in the 5th, though. And that's ball 4. He walked him on 4 straight. Tying run is on in a 2-1 Brewer lead. And an anxious manager with his pitching coach.
Pitch count getting into that danger zone. We're in the 5th inning at 93 already for Chase Anderson.
Anderson's spot in the batting order is due up 2nd in the bottom of the 5th inning. So this will be his last inning. Counsell is hoping he can get through this inning. Tommy Pham now. He has struck out twice, and Chase buckles his knees with a breaking ball.
You got to figure Tommy Pham's starting to maybe think about the inside corner with the fastball and see if they mix it up a little bit.
Oh, and 2 the count. When you were catching all those years and you're working with pitchers, didn't you always feel like if you could get a hitter inside conscious, you got him?
Yeah, no kidding. Then you can work the outside edges. You throw them off speed. Once you get them to speed up your bat, their bat, you got them. If you have any kind of breaking stuff, get them thinking inside conscious. Good hitters aren't going to really worry too much about that. They're going to tip their hat when you put one on the inside corner on a consistent basis. What you're counting on as a hitter when they come inside is leaving it out over the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Pham. Carpenter at first, and a high fastball misses.
Dale Swaim had this philosophy, and it makes a lot of sense. You pitch good hitters inside, you pitch bad hitters away, and it really makes sense. Good hitters are not going to be looking inside. Their money is going to be up the middle and to right center.
There's a curveball. He got him. Anderson strikes out Pham again. Tommy Pham with the hat trick, and his last 4 at-bats have resulted in Ks.
All looking.
9 strikeouts for Chase Anderson.
This one coming on the hook. And Manny Pena holding it there nicely for Rob Drake.
The curveball has made a great comeback in baseball the last few years. It's good to see. We got away from the old-fashioned curveball. They call it the 12-6 curveball. If you're thinking about the hands on a clock, a pitch that drops like that, not just the spin of it all and the downward action, but it's also that change of pace pitch.
Yeah. And the one thing about the curveball, a lot of times, you know, pitchers that like to throw it say that it's difficult to get a called strike on. You know, Bert Blyleven used to say that all the time. Don Sutton, of course, you're talking about curveballs that were head and shoulders above anybody else.
Martinez jumps on one, right field, back is Thames. He's at the wall, he makes the catch. Martinez gave it a ride, a long, loud out, however, and the inning is over. Chase Anderson puts up another 0. Thames just went to right field and runs that one down with ease. Still 2-1 Brewers.
Hitting here at Miller Park and enhance your next Brewers game day experience at Miller Park by downloading the MLB Ballpark app. With Ballpark, you can manage your tickets, plus enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, Brewers bingo, and much more. Download Ballpark app today, free for your smartphone or tablet.
We go to the bottom of the 5th inning at Miller Park. Miles Michaelis back on the mound. He has locked it in since that first inning. He's retired 7 in a row, resulting in 8 consecutive outs. He got a double play ball to end the 2nd inning. Actually, he's retired 8 in a row, resulting in 9 outs, better stated. Brewers have not had a hit nor a base runner since Manny Pena singled to start the 2nd. Manny's back up there now in the 5th.
And both pitchers have pretty good curveballs going today.
2-run first against Michaelis for Milwaukee. Cardinals got their run in the 2nd on a Molina homer. First time through the batting order against Michaelis. The Brewers went 3 for 6. There was a hit batter, a walk, and a sac fly in there. 3 hits in that window, but second time through the batting order, Michaelis has not allowed a hit. Well, Brewers are 0 for 7.
Yeah, he didn't have his curveball early in the game.
He's got that fastball humming along now. 95-mile-an-hour heat on the inside corner.
And that's the thing. I mean, you get the curveball in the back of your mind. I mean, you never know when he's going to throw it. He threw it on a 2-1 pitch to Manny. He missed with it, but has enough on the fastball to stay in the count. Manny behind the fastball because he's thinking maybe curveball. See, when you've got a good curveball like the one Michaelis and Chase Anderson, you know, both of them have pretty good ones. You don't even have to throw it to make it have an impact on what you're doing to a hitter. They're thinking about it.
Anderson with 9 strikeouts. Michaelis has 3 Ks. And make it 4 as he strikes out Manny Pena to start the 5th inning.
This one more the cutter this time. A cut fastball just adds a little velocity to the curveball and gets him, and that pitch actually right down the middle of the plate.
It's going to be the end of the line for Chase Anderson. Figured that might be the case. Pitch count was high through 5 innings. And he's out. Jonathan Villar will pinch hit. And now the Brewers will get into their very talented bullpen. It's been a winning formula to have a lead after 5 innings and win the game for the Brewers this year. Jeffers pitched beautifully last night. Villar with a big swing and a miss.
And not the outing that Chase was looking for. Only 5 innings, but only 2 hits, but 4 walks.
Season high 9 strikeouts.
And I'll get that pitch count up there. 9 strikeouts and 4 walks in 5 innings.
Jonathan Villar as a pinch hitter this year is 3 for 8. Getting an at bat in the 5th inning. Brewers have a 5-man bench, but they've used 2 of those players already, Braun and Villar. Lorenzo Cain exited this game last inning. Still awaiting a report from the Brewers on the status of Cain. One and 2 to Villar, and a swing and a foul out of play. Villar normally starts at second base. Today Brad Miller gets his first start, just called up from AAA. Villar comes off the bench. And a swing and a foul. He just got a piece. Count will remain at a ball and 2 strikes.
That fastball in. What's new? I guess that's the scouting report on this Brewers team. Fastballs in, breaking balls down and away. That's kind of the way it's been for 100 years. But sometimes it's difficult to pitch inside.
Rolls one out to Jerko. Villar is retired.
Not a lot of margin for error when you're pitching inside. You're a little bit too far in off the plate. You hit a batter, you leave it out over the plate, you might give up a homer.
Mike Maddox enjoying what he sees out of Michaelis. Excellent pitching coach Maddox, who's bounced around quite a bit. He had the option to stay in Washington, but Dusty Baker was let go, and Maddox, with loyalty to his manager, decided to go elsewhere as well. Thames bounces to first, and that is another 3-up-3 inning for Miles Michaelis. of the Cardinals here in the 6th inning. Beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Miller Park. And Chase Anderson's day is over. Anderson with 9 strikeouts. And he threw a lot of fastballs, didn't he? His spin rate over 2,200. League average is 2,200. And Chase kind of tips on the higher end of that. And that fastball was rocking today for Anderson. But a high pitch count with 4 walks, so he's out after 5. And Craig Counsell, Derek Johnson are going to give the ball to one of their best. Jeremy Jeffress comes out of the Milwaukee bullpen.
Yeah, one of the best in one of the best bullpens in the National League, if not all of baseball. Pitched last night, had a 3-up, 3-down inning that included a couple of strikeouts. Has been unscored upon in 33 of 36 appearances so far this year. Middle of the Cardinals order coming up.
Marcell Ozuna will lead the way in the 6th inning, and an inside fastball misses at 95. Jeffress will hit just about every spot on that radar gun in the 90s. He can reach back and air it out up to 99 miles an hour, which is what we saw in Pittsburgh. 3-pitch pitcher. Last night, Jeffress threw 15 pitches, 11 of them for strikes. He was sharp in a quick inning. That's a broken bat. It's going to find its way to center field, a base hit. A leadoff single for the Cardinals in this 6th inning.
They pulled the hands in, able to get enough of it. Didn't hit it all that hard, but put it in a good spot down on the handle. Inside out stroke. Watch the hands lead the barrel of the bat, and slices one out into center field, beats the shift.
Craig Counsell always debating how to use Jeffress and Hader. You can use them in multiple innings and then give them a day or 2 off, usually 2 days if they go 2 innings. As Molina jumps on that first pitch and fouls it back. Or you use them an inning apiece, and then you can use them in back-to-back or 3 in a row. The way it's gone lately, Jeffress really hasn't needed to pitch in back-to-back games. Hasn't pitched back-to-back, as a matter of fact, in 12 days. So he went June 10th and June 11th. He pitched in back-to-back games, and really, the Brewers, the way they have played, the way they've won, haven't needed it. That ball's hit hard, right center. Thames, a long run. He's at the wall, and it's up and out of here. 2-run home run for Yadier Molina. And just like that, the Cardinals are on top 3-2. Second homer of the game for Molina.
And it jumped all over a high fastball. Wow. And 2 home runs, both of them coming to right field. You don't see that very often. 96. That ball just kept going. You said it early in the game. It's carrying pretty well off the top of the fence and bounces over. And Molina now with 3 RBIs today.
And Jeffress can't believe that result. Fires the strike in on Jed Jerko. Molina with his 6th career multi-homer game. He's had 2 this year. Jerko into center field, right at Yelich. Out number 1.
Man,
Molina just had a multi-homer game 3 days ago in Philadelphia.
They really missed him when he was on the disabled list. Missed a lot of time. But you know, to hit that pitch that far to the opposite field, that was a middle-in fastball, 96. Jeremy Jeffress supplying a lot of the power there. He just put it on the barrel and then drove it out of here.
Here is Jairo Munoz. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. That Brewers bullpen has not surrendered many leads this year, especially the A relievers in that pen, Jeffress, Hader, Knebel. A 2-run home run by Molina. He has driven in all 3 on 2 homers today for St. Louis, their leader. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Munoz.
And good movement on that fastball. The one that Molina hit out pretty flat, pretty straight. And Jeremy Jeffress normally has pretty good tail, some sink every now and again on his fastball. That pitch that Molina hit out did not.
He got him. Jeffress comes back with a strikeout. 2 outs in the inning now after the 2-run homer.
Hey, reminder that every Sunday home game at Miller Park, kids 14 and under can enjoy a free ice cream bar, courtesy of Blue Ribbon Classics. To secure your seats, visit brewers.com/tickets. That includes tomorrow's game against the Cardinals.
Sign us up, kids and broadcasters. Free ice cream tomorrow. That is what it said, isn't it? I think that's what it said.
I think we just added broadcasters. Just said kids. Like that.
That's pretty much what we are. Bader bounces to short. Perez will make the play. And Jeffress comes back to retire the next 3 hitters. But a big blow by the Cardinal catcher, Yadier Molina. 2-run homer. St. Louis is ahead now.
It's a 3-2 lead for the Cardinals after Yadier Molina's home run, and it's been a story, a big story across all of baseball in some day game action. 3 grand slams already on the day between the Orioles and the Braves in the first inning. It was Mark Trumbo giving the Orioles an early 4-0 lead with that grand slam. Then for the Marlins, it was JT Realmuto in the 7th inning. That one would give the Marlins a 6-1 lead. And this one is probably the most surprising. That's Reds pitcher Anthony DeSclafani going yard in the 3rd inning, a grand slam off of reliever Brian Dunsing, the first pitcher to hit a grand slam this season. And no surprise, it's his first career home run. So big day for the offense across the big leagues.
That's a good new score from Cincinnati, with the Reds on top of the Cubs now 8-1 going into the 6th inning.
Cincinnati's taken to the Cubs in this series.
Beat them last night, and it was a short spot start for Luke Farrell for the Cubs. He lasted just 2 2/3. They had a bullpen by committee day with the Cubs. Brian Dunsing gave up 5 earned runs in an inning and a third in that game, by the way. Well, the tables have turned here. The Cardinals are on top 3-2. Miles Michaelis is pitching well. Christian Yelich leads off, then Braun. It'll be Braun's first at bat. And then Travis Shaw. Michaelis has retired 11 straight. Brewers have not had a base runner since the second inning. Brewers have a 2-game lead over the Cubs to start play today in the NL Central.
And Michaelis wondering where that pitch was. I think everybody else was too.
He looks in control. Gave up 2 runs in the first. And he has been efficient since. This is only pitch number 80. And a swing and a miss as Yelich strikes out on a big fastball.
Get that curveball in the back of your mind, and he's able to do that. I mean, plenty of the plate, 95, and Christian swings right through it.
Well, 1 out for Ryan Braun. Sophia reporting that Lorenzo Cain left this game with groin tightness. So he's had the hamstring cramping, now the groin, and was hit by 2 pitches. It's been a challenge physically for Lorenzo Cain.
Yeah, don't be surprised he doesn't get tomorrow off, and then the team day off on Monday. Hopefully be ready to get back at it against Kansas City on Tuesday.
That's a good call. Well, Ryan Braun's first at bat since the injection. Has nerve damage in a thumb, and periodically will have this injection to try to block that nerve. And they are hoping the injection will last the rest of the season. He's hoping not to have to go do it again. It does change the feel of the hand, the thumb, you know, and so it does change the feel of the bat. And so Braun is used to it by now, but you can imagine how detailed a hitter would be at the major league level, especially at his level.
Right.
And the way the bat feels and the hands, the nerves, the way it all works in there can have an effect.
And it's never going to, you know, get completely healed. It just masks the pain when it does get jammed or out on the end. Nice of Bronny to show up at the Davey Nelson ceremony today. He and Brent Suter. Eddie Cedar was there, Brewers third base coach.
Yeah, Ryan in his 12th year in the organization now, the Rookie of the Year in 2007. MVP in 11. 2-2 pitch, and Braun in the air to left field. Ozuna going back at the wall. He makes the catch just shy of the fence.
Just out in front a little bit. Thought maybe with the way the ball's traveling today, it might run out of here, but if you look at the wind, the flag sticks, it looks like the wind is blowing in, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to hold a baseball up. Curveball, a little bit on the end, and it just stays in the ballpark, about midway on the warning track down the left field line.
You could see that reaction by Braun. As soon as he felt the contact, he knew he had missed it. But he still almost hit it out. Close. 2 outs now. Here is Shaw.
It's one of the few curveballs that Michaelis has hung since that first inning.
The Brewers hit 3 home runs off Michaelis in his game here at Miller Park on April 2nd. Michaelis got the win that day. As Shaw lifts one in the air, a pop up into the grass in shallow right. And that'll be another 1-2-3 inning. 14 straight retired by Michaelis. It's 3-2 St. Louis.
Cardinals as we head to the 7th inning, and add 2 more players to your Brewers bobblehead lineup tomorrow afternoon. When all fans at the Brewers series finale against the Cardinals will take home an Arcia Braun Gauntlet double bobblehead, courtesy of Blue Jay Solutions. Secure your seats at brewers.com.
This takes a little work here. I like this bobblehead. So Braun is permanent. Arcia, he's not. But
well, you can twist them so that they're actually, you know.
Oh, that's a spinning forearm bash.
Yeah, forearm bash brothers.
All right.
So that's the old Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Remember that game? Since we're going back to our childhood.
All right, I'm in. Get 2 for 1. I like it. It's not the mayor of Ding Dong City, but it's okay. It's good.
Not a bad. That's 2 for 1.
It's pretty creative, and the likeness of Arcia is impressive. All the way down to that little beard of his.
Got to lighten up the hair, though. I mean, I guess you can't keep chasing the fashion trends, but.
Taylor Williams on the pitch for the Brewers as they trailed 3-2. Jeremy Jeffress giving up the 2-run homer to Molina. And Williams, who possesses a big fastball. He's been excellent out of the Brewers bullpen.
Hey, last time out on Thursday against the Cardinals. Scoreless inning. Actually loaded the bases, but got out of it without allowing a run.
1-2 to Michaelis, and down he goes. A strikeout to start the inning for Williams. Now the Brewers bullpen will try to hold serve again, give their offense a chance. It's a 1-run game. Brewers scored 2 in the first, nothing since. Michaelis has retired 14 straight. And the Cardinals have all 3 runs on the board courtesy of Yadier Molina. A solo shot in the 2nd inning and a 2-run homer in the 6th. Matt Carpenter today is 0 for 2. He walked his last time up. Chase Anderson will not factor in the decision today. 5 innings, gives up 2 hits, 1 run, struck out a season high 9. Left with the lead, but Jeffress surrendered it. Jeffress on the hook right now for the loss. And Miles Michaelis rolling right along through 6 innings as Carpenter fouls it away. 2-2 the count.
And you wonder how Chase looks back on his start here today as he drives home today. It's going to be one of those, it worked out, but I could have done a lot better. I mean, the pitch count got to him. He was only able to get through 5 innings. Chase, he's thinking, I need to get 6 or 7 for this team. But he only gave up the 1 run.
2-2 the count. Carpenter, a swing and a miss. Nasty slider from Williams. He's got a good one.
You don't see Carpenter take swings like that very often. Check this out. You talk about a pitch out of the strike zone. Carpenter just waves at it.
Missed it by a mile.
Yeah.
0 for 3 for Carpenter. He struck out twice. 2 gone. Here is Tommy Pham. Pham has struck out the last 4 plate appearances, all of them looking. He got ejected after his strikeout yesterday. It's a little unusual. He was called out on strikes. He went back to the dugout, and I think he went back into the clubhouse probably to look at video of the pitch, which on video did look like a ball. 2 batters later, Tim Timmons, a home plate umpire, starts shouting into the Cardinal dugout and then threw him out. So Pham had come back to the bench And whatever he said, those magic words that get you tossed, he spent the rest of the game in the clubhouse.
Yeah, there are many of those. But he's been on his best behavior today. He's been called out on strikes 3 times today. 2 of them very similar pitches to last night.
Yeah, the first 2 strikeouts were on inside corner fastballs. Two balls and a strike with 2 away. Looking ahead to the Milwaukee 7th. Jesus Aguilar, Brad Miller, and Hernan Perez. 5, 6, and 7 in the lineup. Aguilar and Miller have the 2 RBIs today, the only 2 runs on the board thus far.
Jesus narrowly missing a grand slam in the first inning.
Man, that would have changed things. He sent Bader back to the wall. Did get a sacrifice fly out of it, but a grand slam in the first inning after what happened last night.
Yeah,
the complexion of the game would have changed. 3-2, 2 away. Pham fouls it off. He got him. Another strikeout. Tommy Pham with 4 punch-outs today. Taylor Williams strikes out the side, and the big man ready to lead off. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Aguilar, he has found the power stroke. Launched one out yesterday to break up a no-hitter. That tied the game in the 7th, and then in the 9th, a walk-off of Bud Norris. Powerball home runs number 15 and 16. Leads the team. Jesus Aguilar with an RBI today. He just keeps on hitting. Full of personality, full of life. And Aguilar ready to lead off.
Full of bubblegum, Gatorade, water, and sunflower seeds.
It'll be Aguilar, Miller, and Perez. 3-2 Cardinals. Yadier Molina gave them a lead with a 2-run homer in the 6th. Bottom of the 7th. Miles Michaelis continues. Brewers are going to have to find a way against Michaelis. Last hit was leading off the 2nd inning by Manny Pena. Only 3 hits in the game. A little jam shot right to Jerko for out number 1.
Another fastball inside. Been very effective for the Cardinals the last 2 games of this series. Flaherty yesterday, and now Michaelis. Look at him. Fastball up and in. Aguilar just can't get the barrel of the bat to it, and a jam shot.
Michaelis came into this game with the 7th best ERA in the National League. That is not a name a lot of fans would be familiar with outside of St. Louis, maybe the division. But he is making a name for himself. He came up with the Padres. He got a chance with San Diego as a reliever. That was in 2012. And then ended up with the Rangers. Was a starter with Texas. But at that point, 2014, in a unsuccessful run in the major leagues as a starter, it looked like his big league chances were going to be limited after that. So he went overseas. He went to Japan, and he found it. He was a very good pitcher in Japan. He said he learned how to throw the breaking stuff, and he had to command those curveballs, the change-ups, and that changed everything for him. He said he fit right in there. He enjoyed pitching there in Japan. He pitched for Yomiuri, which is a big team there, the Yomiuri Giants. That's one of the big market teams in Japan. And they gave him a chance to start, and he was terrific. As he walks Brad Miller. That's a start. First base runner for the Brewers since the second inning, I should say.
Yeah, no kidding. And you know, Michael is not the only pitcher that went over to Japan and came back here and learned how to pitch much better with the breaking stuff. And hitters will tell you the same. They go over there, they play for a little bit, they learn how to hit the breaking stuff, and they become much better hitters over here in the big leagues.
Hernan Perez. Brewers have the tying run on. First time Michaelis has been in the stretch in a while. Slow roller out to short. Flip to the bag at second. Throw to first is into the dugout.
Yet another error for the Cardinals. Boy, Jed Jerker is having all kinds of problems, isn't he?
He just can't throw the ball right now. Yeah. That's a huge break for the Brewers.
Yeah, he made 2 errors on Friday, or I should say on Thursday, and another error here today.
Fielder's choice to first, and then an E4 to get Perez to second base.
And not even close, and he really didn't have any pressure on him. I mean, Miller wasn't able to get there and really disrupt the throw. You're not allowed to do that anyway these days, and Martinez not able to get there.
Would have been a bang play at first base, but they had a chance at a double play. Mike Matheny is on his way out. Cardinals have a rested bullpen ready to go, and Matheny with Michaelis at 97 pitches is going to take the ball. Well, that is a break for the Brewers as Michaelis is out. Runner at second, and Matheny goes to his bullpen. him. And a potential double play that wasn't turned could have gotten him through this 7th inning. Michaelis 97 pitches. Rocky goes 6 2/3, 5 strikeouts.
I think that the Brewers would take anybody other than Michaelis with that curveball. After the first couple of innings, he found that pitch and then became very effective with that fastball inside. But the curveball was his pitch today for sure as the game went on. Had a long stretch of batters retired and broken by Miller with a walk, and now Jordan Hicks. Back-to-back days for him. We saw him yesterday, a scoreless inning. Gave up a hit, a walk, a strikeout, but did not allow a run. Good numbers for Hicks. Throws that fastball in triple digits.
Tying run at second base. Manny Pena, the batter. And a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. That's a cruising speed fastball for Hicks, and he's hurt. And now Matheny's on his way out with pitching coach Mike Maddox. Cardinal athletic trainer is out.
He's wondering why he's out here.
Yeah, Hicks gave a look as if to say, what's the problem? I'm all right.
I mean, Trader goes out, Mike Maddox, Mike Matheny, they're all running out, and Jordan Hicks didn't even realize they were coming out. So I'm all right. I don't know what you guys are doing.
See if there's anything after the throw. I don't know. I mean, nothing. I don't see him every day, but this is the reaction that's like, what?
Yeah,
I'm good.
He finally sees him and he says, why are you out here? I'm sorry I threw a ball.
There goes Perez, and the pitch is outside. Throw to third. Perez is in, and it trickles away from Carpenter, but not far enough. Wow, that could have really stirred it up.
And that's why you do steal third base, but you better make it with 2 outs.
And the pitch was called a ball. So the count is 2-0 with a runner at third base.
The Cardinals paying no attention to Perez, so he takes the base, and Molina nearly throws it into left field.
Ed Cedar imploring Perez to get back to the bag. Tying run 90 feet away, and Hicks drops a 100-mile-an-hour fastball on Pena. Got to be heads up for the wild pitch. Pena ready to run, or rather Perez. 2-1. Did he go? He did not. Check swing. Molina throws to third. 3 balls and a strike.
It better be alive if you're Carpenter. He might just throw one down there like he did. First base is the same. Always have to be ready.
You know, Pena is going to be dialed up for the fastball here. Brewers down a run. 3-2 Cardinals, bottom 7. 2 outs. And Pena, swing and a miss. Had a good cut, but triple-digit fastball.
See the movement? I mean, that ball had a major sink on it as it got to home plate. Look at this pitch. 100 miles an hour, that kind of movement. Goodness.
Molina wants it again. 3-2. Hicks deals on the ground. Jerko is over. Makes the play to end the inning. And the move pays off for Matheny. Inning is over. Cardinals still lead, and we're on our way to the 8th inning. Series is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Good ball game going here today. The Cardinals jumped on top with a Yadier Molina 2-run homer in the 6th. It is 3-2 as we go to the 8th inning. Our game reset, if you're just picking us up here. Brewers got 2 in the 1st inning. After a sac fly by Aguilar, Brad Miller just called up from AAA. His first game as a Brewer. An RBI single, and the Brewers led 2-0. Molina made it 2-1. Opposite field home run off of Chase Anderson. And then Jeremy Jeffress entered the game in the 6th. Yadier Molina strikes again. 2-run homer this time. And that is our scoring thus far. 3-2 St. Louis in the 8th.
As Adrian Hauser takes over. Third different time he's been with the Brewers this year. Got called up on Sunday from AAA Colorado Springs. Actually pitched in the game here at Miller Park. Gave up a run in an inning of work. Yeah, fourth appearance for him.
Martinez, lead man up for the Cardinals. Hauser, who possesses a power fastball, deals him strike 1. Eric Sogard remains in the game at second base. So you can put Hauser in Brad Miller's spot in the batting order. Sogard will lead off the 8th.
Yeah, double switch. Sogard was actually on deck when Pena made the final out.
Fly ball to right. Thames is there. A slicer. Eric Thames hauls it in for out number 1.
Today's timer of the game winner is Matt's Place Bar and Grill in Phillips. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite. You know where Phillips is?
Tell me, Rob.
North Central Wisconsin. Now our producer Dan Keener used to, he grew up in Marshfield.
Is that right?
Center of the state or thereabouts. He said he went through Phillips to gas up his car on his way to go skiing up in northern Wisconsin.
Wow.
So he's the only one here in the booth that knew where Phillips was.
Who's this again?
Dan Keener. You know Dan?
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Our producer.
Yes. I got him.
You know what's the amazing thing about that? Not only that he knew where Phillips was, I'm surprised he's a skier.
He doesn't look like a skier, really.
Looks more like a speed skater, but
head to toe leotard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good look. You're right. You're right.
Aerodynamic helmet.
Ozuna takes ball 4. And Hauser, after a lead out, walks Ozuna. Third time Ozuna has reached today. So a base runner with 1 away. Hauser trying to hold the Cardinals down in this 8th inning. The Brewers will have 9-1-2 coming up in the bottom of the 8th. Yadier Molina has done a lot of damage today. His second multi-homer game of this road trip. Albert Pujols is the last Cardinal to have 3 homers in a game back in 2010. Runner goes, swinging a ground ball up the middle. Sogard right there, steps on the bag, throw to first in time. Beautiful double play. And the inning is over. Well done. Adrian Hauser puts up a 0 in the 8th. With the runner on the move, Sogard right on the bag. And a 4-3 double play sets us up for the bottom of the 8th. Brewers down 1.
Bottom of the 8th, Craig and Augie out here at Nelly's Corner. It's our first late inning hit out here that we're happy to be a part of, Augie. But bottom line is, got to get some runners, got to get some runs, all this within reach for Milwaukee.
Yeah, we sure do. I'll tell you what, you got to like the starting pitching. They continue to keep you in a ball game. But I'll tell you what Miklas does. He doesn't walk a lot of guys. He's used all his breaking pitches, throwing the ball very well against the Brewers. Brewers need to have that late inning comeback. We'll see if they can do it.
Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin. Brewers Live postgame show coming up in moments after the ball game, B.A.
All right, thank you, Craig and Augie. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. One of 2 left-handers that Mike Matheny has available in the bullpen is on the mound, Austin Gomber.
And 9 relievers out in that bullpen for St. Louis. You know, you got Sogard, Thames, Yelich, 3 left-handers. That's why Gomber, the lefty, is out. And for Mike Matheny this inning.
1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals make a bunch of changes here as Sogard into right center. A base hit, Pham able to cut it off, and that's going to hold Sogard to a single. Good way to start the inning.
He's heating up. You know, 2 for 2. He got a pinch hit, base hit last night. Now lefty versus lefty, able to get the 8th inning off to a good start. Hanging curveball, and Eric Sogard able to hit it hard into the gap. And good speed by Pham keeps him at first.
Cardinals making a lot of changes in their infield, so they move Carpenter from 3rd to 1st. Jerko goes 2nd to 3rd, and Colton Wong is in the game. Jose Martinez is out. It's a big bat out of the game if it should go extra innings, and that spot in the order would come back around.
Yeah, tightening up the defense.
Matheny doesn't have a whole lot of options to tighten up the defense. Here's Eric Thames. Gomber falling behind him 2-0. '24-year-old Austin Gomber. This is just his 10th major league game. He is a rookie. Has been a starting pitcher in the Cardinals minor league system, and a very good starting pitcher down there. Big swing by Thames. He was taking a rip at a go-ahead homer, and he cuts through and misses.
Yeah, high fastball. Look, sitting fastball, gets it. A little bit out of the strike zone, swings right through it.
Gomber has had big strikeout numbers in his minor league career. Little half swing, he goes, and it'll be 2-2 now on Thames. Sogard with a leadoff single. 3 straight lefties to start it. Brewers down 3-2. Curveball bounced out to second base. Wong tags, throw to first is in time. A double play.
Yeah, Sogard tried to get by Wong before he got the baseball, and the gamble didn't pay off. You never want to run into one out at second. Makes that double play a little bit easier. And yep, they got him at first base.
Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game for the Cardinals. Gomber fired up. So 2 outs. It wipes out the lead single. And Yelich takes a ball. This will be Gomber's last hitter. You got Ryan Braun coming up next, you would think anyway. Yelich would love to force Matheny into a move. Gomber at 6'5".
Yeah, big dude. Mid-90s fastball. He made his major league debut on June 2nd.
Look out, he hit him. Up and in. Yelich hit on the hand.
I tell you, wonder how much this the Brewers are going to take.
Second hit batter of the game for Cardinal pitching.
Dangerous stuff too. It gets hit on the hand. Kane's been hit a couple of times in the series. Right on the fingers, top hand.
Not good.
Yeah, that's not good.
The way the fingers came off the bat. Athletic trainer Dave Yeager is out with the manager council. And that's a good sign. Yelich is going to remain in the game. Mike Matheny's on his way out, and the Brewers get the matchup they want with Ryan Braun coming up. Bottom of the 8th, 2 outs. Austin Gomber hits Yelich. And another pitching change. 3-2 Cardinals, getting tight here in Milwaukee in the late innings. That Yadier Molina 2-run homer is the difference in the game right now, but the Brewers are alive in the 8th. And Ryan Braun will step up to the plate with the Brewers down a run. Sam Tuivailala is on to pitch. Rocky gave up a run his last time out against the Phillies. That was last Wednesday, or this past Wednesday.
Yeah, it took a loss in that game back on June 20th. It was a home run that he allowed, only the second of the season allowed by Tuivailala.
Braun does have a hit against this pitcher, 1 for 4. Braun almost hit one out his last time up. Deep fly ball to the track and left. Yelich, the tying run at first.
Outfield very deep for the Cardinals, trying to cut off the gaps. Brewers have a terrific base runner at first base.
Braun would love to have him jog around. Two outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Braun takes a ball down and away. For Tuivailala, 3 of his last 5 outings out of the bullpen, he has given up at least 1 run. And in those last 5 outings, he's given up 7 hits. So there is some traffic on the base paths with Tuivailala on the mound. The 1-0. That's in there. Strike 1. This is Ryan Braun's first action back since the Philadelphia series. Or the Pittsburgh series, I should say. Missed badly. 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, Tuivailala, he's got that mid-90s fastball, has good sink to it. That's why he doesn't allow too many homers. sinker, slider, curveball for Tuivailala.
Travis Shaw due next.
See if Braun can have him get one up in his zone here.
No activity in the Cardinal bullpen. This is Tuivailala's inning to finish, whether it be against Braun or Shaw or someone else. Yelich at first, and Braun, a little topper out to short. Going to be a tough play. Backhanded, Munoz, no play. Braun with an infield hit. And now the tying run is at second with Braun the go-ahead run at first.
Yeah, he was due for one of those, wasn't he? All those line drives have been caught. And right off the end of the bat. And no play from Munoz. Braun, good speed down the line. And there's your tying run at second base. I'd be saying finally they're starting to equal out.
Braun had been 0 for his last 6. And now he is on. Mike Maddox, the pitching coach, out to the mound. And he's talking strategy here with Travis Shaw. This is a favorable matchup for the Brewers, the way Shaw has handled right-handed pitching this year.
And Travis Shaw is due. He's hitless in his last couple of games.
He's playing with a bad wrist. Knocked him out of a couple of games in Pittsburgh. He is second on the club in RBIs. Has been the club leader in that category most of the year. 47 runs batted in. He's hit 14 homers, and all 14 of those long balls against right-handed pitchers. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first. Both run well. Tuivailala with an inside move. Yelich not biting. Cardinals have had a lot of problems in their bullpen this year. Had some health issues with their newly signed closer Greg Holland and Luke Gregerson. You figure this would be a spot for either one of those guys. Holland just coming back. Gregerson still on the disabled list.
Yeah, kind of surprised they don't have Brett Cecil in the game. They got a left-hander down in the pen. Sticking with a righty.
No balls and a strike on Travis Shaw. Fouls it back. Well, you see with 2 outs this year, the Brewers have been second best in the National League, third best in all of baseball. They've been a great 2-out RBI team. Shaw's been a big part of that. Hitting over 300 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He's down in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Down and in. 1 and 2. Rally head. Rub it for good luck. Molina going through multiple signs here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tuivailala deals. Shaw takes it inside.
Not by much, huh?
Oh, it was a little bit of a flinch by the home plate umpire, Rob Drake.
Just a little bit off the inside corner.
From 0-2 to 2-2. Brewers won 2-1 last night on a walk-off. Down 3-2 here in the 8th. Yelich and Braun on the bags. Here it comes. And that hit him. Tuivailala hits Shaw to load the bases. And guess who's coming up? Nearly 36,000 on their feet at Miller Park. Does Jesus Aguilar have one more moment in him? Has one grand slam this year, but he's been great with the bases loaded. 6 trips to the plate, 3 hits.
He was having a difficult time with the Michaelis curveball. You don't have to worry about that now.
Tying run at third. And a fastball missed. That was close.
Cutter.
Yelich was hit by a pitch. Braun reached on an infield hit. Shaw also hit by a pitch. The 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike on Aguilar.
Right bottom of the zone. Aguilar thinking that same pitch that you called a ball a second ago.
Here comes a 1-1 on the ground. Backhanded. Munoz all the way across in time. And Tuivailala gets out of it. Aguilar rolls out with the bases loaded. Still 3-2 Cardinals. We go to the 9th at Miller Park. Tuivailala made a big pitch when he needed to. Aguilar grounds out to end the inning, so it is still 3-2 St. Louis. And here we go to the 9th. Adrian Hauser will continue on. This will be his 2nd inning. Hauser did walk a batter in the 8th, but got a double play ball to get through it. It's Jack Jerko with a big swing. Jerko, Munoz, Bader coming up for St. Louis. Looking ahead to the Brewers' 9th. They'll have the pitcher spot, then Perez, then Pena. Brewers had their big boppers up and couldn't quite push one across.
Yeah.
Left them loaded. The Brewers have stranded 6 today.
Yeah, right where they wanted to be in the batting order, just couldn't push one across. You know, the Brewers have Arcia and Kratz left on the bench. And 2 right-handers for that pitcher spot.
Jerko, fly ball out to Yelich, and the Gold Glover makes a catch for the out. 1 away. Had him fooled. Miller Lite, what's on tap? We'll do it again tomorrow afternoon. 12:30 is airtime. Luke Weaver against Jolie Chassin. Chassin has been the most consistent of the Brewer starters. He's been terrific. Tough luck outing his last time out against the Pirates.
Yeah, 1-0 loss. 1 run, 6 in the 3rd. Snapped a 6-game winning streak for Jolie.
He'll get the ball for the finale. Will the Brewers be playing for a series win or a series sweep? tomorrow. Jairo Munoz with one away shatters the bat, and Hauser will make the catch. A rare F1.
Yeah, fortunately that bat, hit a row of seats that was unoccupied. The fans very fortunate there. Look at this bat, just blows up. Easy out, but the concern is the crowd, and everybody's fine.
Hauser's been impressive. Hauser against Bader. Bader got the start in right today for the Cardinals. 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts. First 2 at bats against Chase Anderson, and then Jeffress got him to ground out to end the 6th inning. A fly ball to right. Adrian Hauser, 6 big outs. He keeps that 3 on the board for St. Louis. The Brewers are down a run, bottom of the 9th. Do they have a comeback in them this afternoon at Miller Park? Davey Nelson, his weekend here at Miller Park. Our colleague and friend who passed away in April. Golf tournament Monday. Nelly's Corner down there. They placed a plaque for Dave Nelson earlier today. It's been a great celebration. And let's see if the Brewers can cap it off to perfection with a comeback win here today against the St. Louis Cardinals. 9th inning at Miller Park on a glorious Saturday afternoon. 3-2 Redbirds. Brewers just stranded the bases loaded with 2 outs in the 8th inning. And now it's going to be Bud Norris who gave up the home run to Jesus Aguilar last night. Norris has become the Cardinal closer, and he is on the mound to try to finish this one off for Matheny.
Yeah, those 13 saves are tied for 10th in the National League in that department. You see his numbers have been pretty good this year.
Eric Kratz will pinch hit for the Brewers. That leaves only Arcia available on the bench. Lorenzo Cain left this game earlier with tightness in the groin. And Counsell has had to use just about everyone. Here's the 0-1 to Kratz, skips in for ball 1. Norris with the 13 saves. Came into a 1-1 game yesterday. It was tied in the 9th. Got to 0-2 on Aguilar, and then looked like a call from Molina that he wanted up in the strike zone, a fastball up. It was on the outer half, but thigh high, and Aguilar drove it out for the walk-off homer. Just about in that spot, actually.
Yeah, about it's about mid-90s. I mean, low to mid-90s with a fastball and a slider to go with it. Jesus had a chance. Bottom of the 8th. Got a slider and grounded short. Can't do it every day.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Kratz. Able to lay off. 2-2 now on the big catcher. Kratz hit 3 home runs in his first 6 starts behind the plate for the Brewers. A June pickup from the Yankees. 2-2 the count. Got him. Kratz strikes out. Out number 1.
And challenge him with a fastball up in the strike zone. 95 off the outside corner.
So 1 away for Hernan Perez. He's 0 for 3. Wicked slider that Norris possesses.
Yeah, the cross between cutter and slider at 91 miles an hour.
His stuff has played up as a reliever. He was a starter for a number of years. Came up with the Astros.
And basically a 2-pitch starter. That was his issue. That works out of the bullpen.
0-2 the count on Perez. Norris with the Angels last year had 19 saves. First time he'd ever saved a game in the big leagues was last season with the Angels. He's got 13 this year. He's blown 3. 0-2 the count on Perez with Pena on deck. And he just got a piece of that one, a foul ball to keep it at 0-2.
That's that slider off the plate, just able to stay alive.
The Reds have added on to their lead in Cincinnati. They lead the Cubs 11-2 now as they go to the 9th inning. Brewers have a 2-game lead over the Cubs. No balls, 2 strikes on Perez. 1-2. Arizona's out in front of Pittsburgh quickly. Beat them last night. Diamondbacks up 5-0 on the Pirates in the 5th inning.
They've turned things around, haven't they? Arizona.
Yeah, they're back in first in the West. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh has struggled. They're 3 games under. Ready for a 1-2.
Pretty much staying away from the inside part of the plate. Doesn't want to get beat with a big fly. Everything away to Perez. Everything away to Kratz for that matter.
Inning started with a Kratz strikeout. Another 2-strike pitch. Slow roller. Backhanded Munoz, long throw, and Perez is in. And a spot where a dive actually helped him there as that throw was wide. Nothing to tag for Matt Carpenter, and that'll be an infield hit for Hernan Perez.
And really the only time you want to slide is to avoid a tag from the first baseman. And well, he knew this was going to be trouble for Munoz. Not able to get enough on the throw, off the mark, and Perez reaches first base. There's your tying run. Now let's see if somebody can knock one out of here.
Fans are believing. Perez has great speed as well.
Such a good job of Perez just staying alive and getting a piece of the baseball with 2 strikes.
Yeah, the beauty of contact, right? Manny Pena. First pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. Perez certainly has the speed and base running skills to steal a base. Norris is not like most closers in that all those years as a starter, he does handle the running game a lot better than most closers do. And has a very quick move, as you can see.
Yeah, he caught him leaning a little bit. Look at it, do they?
I think they want to check this one out. This is a little scary here for the Brewers because the Cardinals feel like they've got an out here, or they would not ask for a review.
Well, they have nothing to lose. It's the bottom of the 9th inning.
That was close.
Mike Matheny just saying, why not? We got the review to use. Might get lucky on an angle. And he was leaning a little bit. Can't really tell where the hand is on that angle.
Call on the field is safe, so there has to be enough evidence to overturn. Tag is there. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if they overturned it, but we've seen
we've
seen it before.
Shocked before. No, not this time.
Mike Winter says the play stands.
Well, if you're Mike Matheny, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have anything to lose.
I'm sure that got Perez heart thumping a little bit. So the call is confirmed officially, is the verbiage on that. All right. Tying run still at first. Brewers trying to do it in back-to-back games against Bud Norris. And Pena with a swing and a miss. 0-2 the count.
Very late breaking, quick slider. Tough to pick up. You see the rotation, easy to see in slow motion though.
Perez did steal a base back in the 7th inning. That was at 3rd. And Norris checks on him again. The slider gives Manny Pena fits. He's hoping for a hanger.
Yeah,
Sogard would be next.
And not the hanger. He likes those. Everybody does. See if he can hang one.
0-2 the count. Norris deals and a ground ball to short. And the Cardinals turn a double play to end the game. Save number 14 for Bud Norris. The Cardinals win for the first time in this series. Yadier Molina knocks in 3 runs on 2 homers. And a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 6th is the difference. Miles Michaelis, his 8th win of the year. Jeremy Jeffress suffers his first loss of the season. 1 more to play tomorrow. The Brewers will try to take 3 out of 4. Regroup from this one after a 3-2 St. Louis victory. Time now for Brewers Live. We send it to Nelly's Corner for Craig Cashon.
All right, BA. Too bad we couldn't get a win for Davey here today, but a big one last night. We'll set up tomorrow for you, but first we'll hear from Craig Counsell and talk about Chase Anderson's outing on the mound as well when we come back to Brewers Live.